The day. Man, this is a conversation that I recently had on Facebook that I want to share with you because people are so bad at just believing nonsense and thinking they understand it all, man. Like, here's the thing, when it comes to cars specifically, and this video is about bad car buying advice. When it comes to cars, you are wrong so often, and hopefully you're right, but so many people are so wrong with such bad advice. Let's just take a look at exactly what this person said that has got me kind of frustrated. Here it is. So here's what this person said, and then specifically, they're saying that anymore when buying a car, it's just about getting the monthly payment right. And that's so wrong because you know what? The car dealerships can make a payment any way you want it. You can stretch your loan out for 6, 7, 8 years now. And at the end of the day, maybe you lease instead of buy. Like, they can get you in any payment you want. It's not about getting the payment right. A $300 payment for 3 years versus a $300 payment for 8 years. You're trapped. You're like actually like handcuffed now to a car. So it's not about the payment. And then he goes on with just even more terrible advice. Even if you end up owning your car, it won't be cost effective to maintain. And to maintain it in most cases, well, the truth of the matter is, if you're looking at the average car payment right now, which is around $500 a month, that means that if you own your car and you're paying less than $6,000 per year in repairs, it's cheaper to just own your car and not have a car payment anymore. This is nonsense. This is absolute bullarchy. Like, no one in their right mind believes this. And he's comparing it to the price of the cost of replacing a battery on an electric car. And it's just junk, right? We can base anything off as far as not worthy yet, so we won't worry about that. But he thinks here that once a car is above a certain mileage, it needs engine and transmission replacements anyway. I want to know who watching this video has a car with over 100,000 miles, and then who has a car with over 200, and who out there has a three or even a $400,000 car. The last car we got rid of was about 110, and we got rid of it purely out of the desire to have something nicer, not because we needed to. We had some things that we needed to fix, but it wasn't going to be $6,000 a year. But we got rid of it because we wanted something nicer. We had bought into the social lie, like so many of us have, for that moment. We had bought into the social lie that you need to have a nice car. And I don't complain about it. We can afford it. Other people can't. If you can't afford it, you can't buy into that belief. And if you're out there trying to figure out what to do with your car and how to fix it, or whether to buy a new one, don't fall for this belief you've got to go buy a new car. You don't. You absolutely don't. Buy something a couple years old. Buy something for a low cost. Here's the interesting thing about buying a car. If you buy a car for $10,000, pay on it for 3 years, 3 to 4 years to pay it off at a reasonable car payment, then at the end of that time period, you've got an $8,000 car paid off because it's already taken all the big hits. It's not going to go down anymore. And you could take that $8,000 car and roll it into a new car that is now worth maybe $18,000, and you're still at that small payment. Like, right? Let's pull out our handy dandy calculator and look here and say, you know, and take a look and see what a payment would be. If I can find the right app. There, oh, it disappeared. I typed too far. There it is. So if I pull out my loan calculator app, you probably can't see it, and we look at a $10,000 loan at, say, 10% interest. We're going to go with a kind of cruddy one. Then you'd be looking at a payment for 3 years of $322. So $10,000 car, which is about a 100,000-mile Toyota Camry. It's what I'm driving today. 100,000-mile Toyota Camry. 332 a month for 3 years. 3 years later, it's worth 8,000. You take that $8,000 car, roll it into an $18,000 car, get another 3-year loan on it because you're borrowing another 10,000. You now have, at the end of that second set of 3 years, you now have a car that's worth 12 or 13,000 paid off. You could roll it into a new $25,000 car and keep your payment at the $300 range. And now all of a sudden, because you've made some good choices over a 6-year period of time, you're driving a really new car that maybe only has 30 or 40,000 miles on it, and you're really close to getting to the point where you can drive a brand new car every couple of years. Okay, so you don't have to buy a new car just because yours has mileage. You don't have to buy a new car just because something breaks. And when you buy a car, it's not about getting the payment right. It's about thinking about what you're going to do for the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life. And if your idea on cars is every 5 years buying a new car because it's got 50, 60,000 miles on it, you're going to be broke. There's just no other way around it. You're going to be broke. The truth of the matter is, car payments are the number one problem Americans have. It's not just a Dave Ramsey thing, it's dead honest truth. I've sat at hundreds of people's tables, had hundreds of conversations around money, and just about every single time it boils down to the fact that their car payments are killing them. You can't have giant car payments and expect to survive. You just can't. So hopefully this video is valuable to you. Please like, share, let people know you